Oh yeah. We're back with another edition of News You Can Use with D Nice. My name is David. Come on in, come on in. Right now we're listening to some good music by Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson turns 50 years old today. So we're going to sit back and we're going to listen to music for a few minutes. We're going to jam out and then we're going to get into today's news. We got a lot of news to discuss. We got a lot of things going on today. So we're going to get into it here very shortly. It'll be like Marco Rubio drinking a little bit of drink. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is the jam. This is the jam. This is the jam. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the news here in just a minute. 3TD, thank you so much for joining. We're gonna get into the news that you can use. Pump them hearts, share this scope. And we're going to get into it here in just a minute. How are you today? Please let me know when you come in. All right, y'all. We're going to get into today's news. We got a chock full news today. So we're going to get into those stories. We'll discuss it. Let me know what you think. Rep your city. And let me know. And if you are watching the replay, I truly do appreciate you coming by, watching the replay. Share it. Let your friends know that News You Can Use is on Mondays and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So yeah, right now I'm here in Indianapolis. We're sitting at a rather kind of cool 62 degrees, and I can't wait for the warmer weather to come into Indianapolis. Right now we're kind of sitting at a cold, kind of a cool streak, and I can't believe we're sitting this cold. Cece, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, my name is David. I'm in Indianapolis. We're sitting at about a 62 degrees outside in my kind of outside man cave. Miss Pris, thank you so much for joining us. Share this scope. Thank you so much for sharing. Invited followers, thank you. Miss Pris, thank you so much for joining. Hey, how you doing? We're about to get into the news stories for today. We were just listening to some Janet. Because Janet Jackson turns 50 years old today. Miss Pris, thank you so much for inviting followers and pumping them hearts. Share the scope. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're going to get into the news here very soon. Memphis, thank you so much for joining the scope. Pump them hearts and share the scope. We're going to get into today's news. And like I said, we're just listening to Janet Jackson. She turns 50 years old today. So if y'all didn't know that, celebrate her. She's a great musician. 50 and pregnant. I know. I'm shocked by this, but you know what? She's still beautiful. She's healthy. So you know, I don't see why she couldn't. But having a baby at 50 years old can be quite challenging. Angela, thank you so much for joining. Pump them hearts and share this scope. Dark Lady, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you guys coming by. Again, rep your city where you at. Like I said, I'm in Indianapolis. Outside is about 62 degrees. A little cool 62 degrees. So how you guys doing tonight? We got a lot of news lined up. Stuff that's going to make you mad. Stuff that's going to make you sad. But we going to get through it. Jersey, that's what's up. Rep your city. New York and freezing. I know it's cold in the north. Memphis, all right. That's what's up. You know, Tennessee is the bomb. Detroit, D-Town, you know how it is. Memphis, Tennessee, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Y'all repping today. I like that. Y'all, pretty diverse places, and they're all beautiful. I've been to them all. So, wow, I'm glad you guys came and joined the stream today. So we got quite a bit of news today. The first thing that we're going to talk about is, have y'all heard about this? Wendell Pierce. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He was like on the, I believe he was on The Wire. He also did, he was on Waiting to Exhale. Remember, he was the dude that was like, woo, woo. He only did like 4 pumps. And Layla Rashawn was like, what? Yeah, he got arrested. And he actually got arrested for beating up Bernie Sanders supporters. You know, the story was reported, this was on BET.com, that he was talking to some random person. Someone else yelled like Bernie or bust or something like that, and then they got into a verbal altercation, and then boom, they started fighting and stuff. Memphis Bay, thank you so much for joining the Scope. Share this Scope, pump them hearts. I appreciate y'all coming by. So yeah, so Wendell Pierce is arrested. So you know he's in trouble, man. And I don't know why he did that. I mean, you know, it's okay to disagree in politics, but once you go to blows, I don't know what it is. But I think it's more to the story. What you guys think? You guys think it's more to the story, or you think he just overreacted? Yeah, you heard about that, Angela? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's some stuff going on, but you know, we shouldn't be fighting like this, really, because the real culprit is Donald Trump. That's who we need to be focused on. More to that? Yeah, I mean, do you think that someone may have come by and kind of provoked him? It always is. Oh, you know, that's the point. That's the point. And so it really makes me upset that somebody like Wendell, who did a lot of good stuff too. He set up that foundation that made all that millions of dollars. Yes. There's always three sides to every story. His side, their side, and the truth. Oh, okay. Well, I totally agree with that, Cece. There's got to be the truth. We got to figure where this truth is. There is some truth out here, and we got to find it. So, yeah, ain't that crazy? I mean, this dude went from movie star to now arrested. So I don't know what's going on there. And, you know, I pray for him. I hope everything's okay, because he's a good man. So I don't know why he would make this type of decision, but he must have been pretty stressed out that day. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the deal is. It's just real odd that this dude. Thank you so much for pumping them hearts, by the way. But it's really odd that this dude would do something like that. So I don't know. It's a funny story. That's why I said we need more information, because to provoke this guy who was cool dude, he also played Clarence Thomas in the Clarence Thomas story. I mean, he's like an intellectual. So I'm surprised that he went ahead and started fighting people. So I don't know, something's up with that. There's got to be more to the story, because a guy like that must have been awfully provoked. He must have had hands in his face or something, because I'm a pretty chill dude too. I won't fight anybody, but if you get in my face, you know, I'll take you out. I used to be a professional wrestler, so don't get it twisted. I will flip you, you know, if you want to be flipped. Oh, it's on. Yeah, if you want to be flipped, I can flip you. But normally, I am a non-violent person. I don't believe in violence, but trust and believe. I ain't no punk either. Don't let these light eyes of this light skin fool you. You don't want none. You know what I mean? People don't want none. Trust. Davis, thank you so much for joining the Scope. Share this Scope. Pump them hearts. And I agree. You know, every man has a, thank you for the comment, by the way. Hey, what's going down? Yeah, every man is entitled to one bad day. I mean, there was one time where I got kicked out of Church's Chicken, y'all. Y'all won't believe this. Let me tell y'all this story, then we're going to go to the next one. Man, I had went through the they had a drive-through. Diva, thank you so much for sharing the Scope. I appreciate it. Pump them hearts. But yeah, I went through the drive-through, and I had called and placed my order before I picked it up. Got to the drive-thru. Thank you so much for inviting your followers, by the way. Got to the drive-thru. They gave me my stuff, and I drove back home, and I knew I should have checked it. Got all the way back home, didn't have my biscuits in there. DJ Butter, thank you so much for joining the Scope. Pump them hearts and share the Scope. We're talking about how I got kicked out of Church's Chicken. Then we're going to go back into the news. Hey, how you doing? Hello, rep your city. I'm in Indianapolis. My name is David. Like I said before, we sit at about 62 degrees outside. Dark Lady, thank you so much for inviting followers. Cleveland, oh, that's what's up. Ohio. So, gotta have them dang biscuits. Oh, let me tell you. So, I get all the way home. I'm like, oh, I ain't got my biscuits. Angela, thank you so much for inviting followers. Pump them hearts and share the Scope. So, I drive all the way back. Mind you, this was like a 20-minute drive. So I'm not trying to hear no foolishness. So I called them before I got in. I said, hey, you guys forgot my biscuits. I'm coming back. So they were like, all right. The moment I walked into the building, this lady was like, don't you come in here with no attitude. I was like, excuse me? I ain't even say nothing. She was like, you can be excused. I was like, what? I turned into Dolomite. I was like, are you for real? And I just straight up flipped the front of the counter thing because I was super mad. I'm serious, y'all, serious. And I straight flipped it. And the lady was like, you can get out. And you can get out. I was like, no, you out to lunch. You lunching, chick. And so they threw me my biscuits. They basically put it in a bag and threw it at me like, get out. I know, but listen, I was having a bad day. my boss was on my back, and it was about some BS that some white dude was mad because I was talking by my car in the parking lot about politics, and he ran and told on me. I know I'm being serious. So that day I was mad because the boss pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, could you make sure you're okay?" And I'm like, "Man, get out of my face, man." But you know how it is. But that day was tripping. Plus I was younger then too. You don't have politics. I'm telling you, it's gonna be some consequences and repercussions. I'm telling you. Remember what Big Worm said? It's some principalities in this. Thomas, thank you so much for joining. Share this scope, pump them hearts. He said you've done that more than once. You done flipped up in a restaurant? You can't flip up. And thank you so much for sharing this scope, DJ Buddy. You're awesome. Pump them hearts. But yeah, I went in there and almost tore it out. But y'all, that was the young me. That was the stupid me. Nowadays, man, if you ain't got my biscuits, man, I ain't gonna drive back up there, man. Them biscuits just biscuits, man. It ain't even worth it. But it was about to go down in there. She straight started it. All right, so we're going to get back into the stories. I know he went off on a tangent. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, did you hear about this? The black lady in New Jersey, she won part of that $429 million jackpot. Did you hear about that? Thank you for pumping these hearts, by the way. I appreciate it. I love you guys. But yeah, she won the she was part of the, mother of seven won the $429 million jackpot. Yeah, in Trenton, New Jersey. That's right. And her name is Pearlie Smith, and she won part of that. So good God Almighty, that's great. And I'm glad that this is what the blessings do. You stay honest and you stay real, and this is what happens. The blessings rain down, and I'm so glad that this woman was able to get these blessings, especially with 7 children. This is going to help this black woman in a major way and help her children, succeed and get a head up. Because, they was already behind having that much. It's impossible for her to watch them all by herself. Yes, yep. This is why I praise single moms. Because, man, my mom was a single mom. Awesome. I know, ain't that a great story? And, I understand that struggle, man, and that pressure. Because, man, when food needs to be on the table, when the bill collectors are knocking at your door, when you got people angry and upset and all you got is you, I praise women forever and ever. Because women, man, y'all do it big. And that's why black men need to step up and help y'all. Because I see what goes on, man. And it's hardcore out here. And even now it's even harder because it costs so much money to do stuff. And without money, you can't live. And, it's praise God that she actually won this. So I'm pretty happy for her. What you guys think? Isn't this a great story? I know, and it's tough because pride, man, that's the one thing that black people have that's tough. John, thanks so much for joining the scope. Pump them hearts, share this scope. But that's the one thing that's hard for us is that we, black people, we got a lot of pride, man. We pride ourselves in making it. Thank you for pumping these hearts, by the way. But, we pride ourselves in making it. We pride ourselves in uplifting and doing it on our own and not asking for help. That's why when you hear the Republicans say, these people are just trying to be leechers, they don't even know what they're talking about because black people hate being dependent on others. Yep, DJ Butter, thank you so much for agreeing. Yep. And that's the thing. So, it's amazing that she's got it. Great as it can be. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad she got this money, and, it's good for her kids, too. Because this is going to give them kids a leg up, man. Because, I don't care what you say. Having 7 kids by yourself is tough. You won't be able to get to all the kids. And mothers are the greatest mothers in the world. But it's tough to pay attention to 7 kids, by yourself and working. Something's got to go. You give up something. So it's tough. Johnette, thank you so much for joining the scope. Pump them hearts. So, yeah, so what you guys think about it? Isn't that great? Republican equals privileges, Democrats equals struggle. I do agree because nobody's paying attention to the real issues. You think about it, look, and we're going to get to this next story, but we got the jobs bill. It's called the America Jobs Act that's stalled in the Congress. You say you don't what? Thomas, thank you so much for joining the scope, by the way. But Damiana, thank you so much for joining the scope, by the way. And share this scope, pump them hearts. But yes, I done got off track talking to you guys, but yeah, we pride ourselves, black people. We pride ourselves, and we know what's up, and we want to make it. We don't want to depend on the government. But I was about to say this about the Jobs Act. There's a Jobs Act that is in the House and in the Senate right now. Republicans struggle too. Oh, that's right. But that's why it's an oddity that Republicans would be struggling and still vote for those who's keeping them in the struggle. See, people keep forgetting the rich ain't paying nobody. The rich are not giving their money away. And you hear them say all the time that, well, it's charitable. People, the people who are poor will be taken care of by charity, but there's just not enough charity going around to help folks. And people, and I agree with the premise of you shouldn't just get money. I agree. People should earn it. But I think to help people earn it, Dark Lady, thank you so much for joining the scope. I think to help people earn it is in job readiness programs, is in early childhood education. Can you imagine what $1,200? I paid $1,200 a month in childcare when my kids were in daycare and preschool. Can you imagine what that exactly, thank you so much. Can you imagine what that, thank you for pumping them hearts. Can you imagine what that $1,200 would have done for me per month if I saved that into my wealth, into my savings? That would have helped me get a leg up. So that's what I'm saying. These type of programs can help. Hello. These type of programs can help. And that's what boggles the mind. And we got this jobs bill. Basically, it's a lot of jobs for like more government work, construction, which disproportionately affects black people because we're normally in that segment. Yes, I am for earn while you learn. Oh, absolutely. That's why I agree with the tuition. 2 years of public college, state college should be tuition free. I mean, I believe this is good to get a start on that. I mean, I don't understand why people are not investing in education. That's the part that kills me. I mean, education is so important. I mean, it's one of the most important things. But free isn't free. I agree. But do you know how you subsidize that? Companies like ExxonMobil that records profits of about $20 billion a quarter. We're not talking about as in total. We're talking about as in quarter. Someone is paying for it. Thomas, you're right. But that work for the government, they made you pay the application to have to take a test. Well, and that's right. A lot of it is. I mean, but you do have to earn your way. I mean, you can't just be given the job. You have to have some proven method to prove that people are eligible to do this work. Corporations don't pay taxes. It comes down to us to the end. But this is what I'm about to get into. You got ExxonMobil that makes $20 billion a quarter. They get upwards to about $460 to $470 million in subsidies that they just get. Now, mind you, the $20 billion a quarter that they make, thank you for pumping these hearts, by the way, that they make is after overhead, after expenditures, after everything. This is just total profit. A company that can profit billions of dollars a quarter does not need $470 million in givebacks that we're paying to the oil companies so they can speculate on oil barrels and raise our gas prices anyway. So it's unfathomable that we're supporting them. They shouldn't be getting that money. That money should be better used in early childhood education, in the tuition for college. That money alone would pay for early childhood education. It would fund that program. Just that subsidy alone would fund that program. So that's what I'm saying. I understand that people don't agree, but that's why I don't use it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Greedy companies, and I know a lot of times people say, well, when you tax, it's a penalty. It's not. It's about appropriating the funds correctly. There was a story on it. Oh, yeah, they're notorious too, man. They're infamous. All right, guys, so to the next story. Did y'all hear about the world's oldest woman died? Did you hear about this? She was 116 years old. Her name was Susanna Mushat Jones. And she lived to be 116 years old. She was the world's oldest person, a sister that they said was pretty charitable. I know, wow, can we all hope to live? Y'all, I would hope to live to be 116 years old. This woman was absolutely blessed to live that long. They say she was born in the 1800s, y'all. Do y'all understand that? That means she saw everything. Yep, that's what I'm saying. She saw everything. She saw basically almost slavery up in this piece. Jim Crow, all this stuff. Jesus was definitely her friend. Oh, absolutely. And what I would have loved to do is I would have loved to sit down with her just for an hour and just ask her a series of questions that for each decade that she was in to understand her mentality, how she thinks now. I know, and got around, and she was talking. I would have loved to get a recorded conversation with her. And thank you for pumping these hearts, by the way. And talk to her and just say, what happened in your life? Like when you were born, what did your parents do? What did you see your parents do? Oh my God, the stories would be amazing. I'm gonna tell you, when I was at MATC, this was when I used to live in Milwaukee Area Technical College. I used to work. I was the arts and entertainment editor at the Times newspaper in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I had to do the story on the African History Museum, and John Hope Franklin was there, and we did an interview with him. It was just like 10-15 minutes. That was the most amazing thing. He talked about what he saw. He saw people getting bludgeoned in the alley by some policemen, man. And he said the police told him, don't say nothing. And if you gonna get your dark nigger butt beat, man. He was telling me a bunch of crazy stuff. He said his life was on the line constantly. But it's amazing, y'all. It's when you get this type of history, you have to talk about it. You have to talk to them. Because, you're never going to get this information. This is why griots were so important in Africa. Because these people were the oldest living people and can chronicle the life. You can live centuries through these people. All right. First time watching you. I have to go to bed for work. I'm sure I'll watch you again. Are you from Indiana? Oh, awesome. What's right? Hoosier. I appreciate the compliment. Come on by. You watch the replay if you want to see the rest. I'm only going to be on for another about 8 minutes. But, man, I truly do appreciate you coming by. That does my heart good. Let me know. Share this scope. Tell your friends to come check me out Mondays and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, so then on to the next story. We're going to talk about this. Have you heard about this? George Zimmerman's gun. This is the scum of the earth. This is the scummiest human being on the planet Earth. George Zimmerman's gun actually is back in auction. And they said sometimes it's upwards to I know that damn fool. He is a demonic person. And to see this, and people still think that he's innocent, I can't believe this. That's just downright, oh man, absolutely. And you're right, figuratively, absolutely, that gun will kill him because it's going to get him in so much trouble that he's going to end up committing suicide or somebody's going to come for him. And I hope nobody, I don't want to wish death on nobody because we already lost a life with Trayvon Martin. Yep, right, yep. And that's the thing is, it's just sad situation. And now the parents have to relive this over and over again. I don't understand why they're doing it, but it's sensationalism. Being famous and infamous have the same type of attention. An SOB of the earth, absolutely. Anything for media attention. And remember, this is important for news outlets to report too. And I'm guilty of it because I am going to talk about Trump a little bit. But that's why they report on Trump, because it's a hot topic and people want to discuss it. Now, the reason why I want to report on Trump, because I want people to see the truth. I want people to understand how dangerous this man is for America. He's seeking attention he really don't need. Absolutely, he don't need. Evangelist, thank you so much for joining. Come on through. We're talking about George Zimmerman, and his gun is actually back up for auction. Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? I have to put a gag order on him. You know what? I wish they would, but they acquitted him. They got over on that daggone stand your ground law, and that's what happened. Where he couldn't talk about anything. I agree. I wish he was sanctioned. You say you're so irritated with Zimmerman. I am too. I think Zimmerman is a scum. He's an SOB. He is somebody who should, who needs just to disappear. I can't believe he's still alive too. But you know what? Actually, he should be behind bars. And the actual prosecution did not do a good job of prosecuting George Zimmerman. They focused on just the fight. They didn't focus on the fact that when the 911 operator told George Zimmerman to stand down and don't, he basically violated the whole thing, because 911 operators are technically law enforcement. You cannot disobey 911 operators. They didn't. Absolutely, they didn't. And you can't do that. And that's what happened. And so they focused on just the fight itself and said if somebody was head up, who should be getting killed? Real talk. And he says, you're talking, he killed my son or husband. He would have been dead. Oh, whoo. They focus on the right to bear arms. Way too much. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. They focused on just that law of, they didn't even focus on anything surrounding the fight. They just focused on the fight, period. And just said if two people are fighting and somebody's getting the best of them and they feel like they're going to die, can you kill somebody? That was just the argument. But they didn't say if somebody is stalking somebody and they're not law enforcement and they're told by the 911 operator not to mess with him, did he have a right to kill? And then that would be a different narrative. If you had all these warnings, not only did he have the right to flee, he was able to flee. He wasn't pinned down before he pinned Trayvon down. And then on top of that, the 911 operator told him to stand down. So if he was to stand down and he had the ability to run away, there should have been a reason to acquit him. This should never even have happened. He should have just let the police handle it. But he thought he was above the law, and I guess technically he is, because he got off. But, he can't run away from God's law, though, because his soul is tormented, I tell you what. Exactly. And he has the following of the young man for a while. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He stalked him. So if you are able to stalk your prey, you are not in imminent danger. You are not in imminent danger. You're not. So if you're not in that type of danger, then you don't have a reason to be like claiming self-defense, because he wasn't after you. You were after him. That's the problem. That just upsets me. But George Zimmerman's gun is back on auction, y'all. So if I was rich, if I was super mega rich, I would buy his gun on the soul, like the white man who shot with the car full of black boys and killed that one. Oh, man, that was terrible. But he went down, though. He went down. He didn't have a daddy like Zimmerman, who was a judge. That's premeditated. Oh, absolutely, because you stalked. I mean, it'd be different if, Trayvon came out and just bum rushed him and knocked him down and then started beating him up. Then, yeah, hey, dude shouldn't have been doing, no, I wish nobody dead, but you can't bum rush somebody. But Trayvon was walking home. He was in his own neighborhood. And if he would have let the police handle it, they would have found out that he was living in this neighborhood and it wouldn't have been nothing. But it was George Zimmerman's racism that prompted this killing. And that's what happened. And he got over because his dad was a judge and he was able to talk to those people in Florida to have a haphazard ass trial. And that's what happened. So unbelievable. All right, y'all heard about this? Blackish is getting signed on for another season. You guys watch Blackish? I actually love this show. I think this is kind of the new version of the Cosby Show, and I'm glad that they are being renewed. So what do you guys think about that? You guys watch Blackish? Have you ever seen this show? Tell me if you like it or not. I think it's an awesome show. Thank you so much for pumping them hearts, by the way. All right. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Donald Trump, but very quickly, and then I'm going to end my stream. You say you watch it off and on. Yeah, I try and catch it. I love it. But, I work and, I got kids, and sometimes it's hard to catch it and put my boys to bed and all that stuff and try and catch everything. Oh, yeah, I suggest, watch it. It's a great show. It's very funny. You got Dion Cole on there. You got my main man. He's on there. I mean, it's a great show. Check it out. I urge you to check it. It comes on like Wednesdays or something like that at 8:30. So check it out. All right. So last but not least, I just want to talk about Donald Trump just for a second, and then I'm going to end my stream. But Donald Trump, man, made news today. Gotta go, bro. Love your scope. Stay blessed. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by. I absolutely love it. Share this scope before you leave and let everybody know I'm on. So you haven't seen it? Yeah, you know what? Check it out because it's a good show. It's very funny. You'll love the cast. Tracy Ellis Ross is very good. They do a really good job on the show. The kids are also nice and cute and stuff. It's really good. It's a good show to watch with your family. But Donald Trump made news this week, of course. Remember, he was faking his PR person. Also, Donald Trump got hit because of a New York Times article that came out that said he was mistreating women. And then, during numerous commencement speeches today, a lot of, Democrats and Republicans chopped Donald Trump. I mean, you had, commencement speeches at different colleges. John Boehner got up there and said something. Joe Biden. even the Republicans don't really like Trump. I know this is why Trump is going to have such an uphill battle in the fall, but don't sleep on him, no, because there's a lot of racist people out here. So just because he's a weak ass candidate doesn't mean he can't win. So vote. So I don't care what nobody tell you, vote. Get out there and vote, because if you want to win, get him out of here. He can't come in. But the person who matters the most who chopped up Trump was actually President Obama. President Obama, basically, he was doing a commencement speech. I'm gonna play this audio. It's real quick audio, and then I'm gonna end my scope, because actually PSMG Radio. This is with Denny Live and Tracy Shondell. They're gonna be doing their scope, so I'm gonna check out their stream. So I encourage you guys to join me there. I'll be there as well. But yeah, so Barack Obama chopped up Donald Trump, but it was so subtle and beautiful. And this is what Barack Obama does best. He faked his PR, said, nah, that was split person. Absolutely, I agree. John Miller, and then he was John Boyern. They come in at 10. That's right, so I'm about to end my scope. But hear this, y'all. This quick audio is about a minute long. I want y'all to hear this, and I'm going to end my scope on this note, because the president be dropping the mic. So I want y'all to hear this and let me know what you think. Divas Treasure, thank you so much for joining the scope.
Political debate, you might wonder where this strain of anti-intellectualism came from. So class of 2016, let me be as clear as I can be. In politics and in life, ignorance is not a virtue.
Ignorance is not a virtue, y'all. So I'm going to end on that note. Ignorance is not a virtue, and it will never be a virtue. Don't let Donald Trump tell you that that's a virtue. Y'all hear me? So, guys, I'm going to end it. That's this edition of News You Can Use with D Nice. And I appreciate you guys coming out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing the scope and pumping hearts. And I'm going to end, y'all. So join Denny Live and Tracy Shondell on PSMG Radio, coming on that right now, actually at 10 o'clock. I love you guys. Thank you so much, y'all. Stay blessed, and I love you. All right.